Joining me now, Jesse Weber, attorney and host on Law and Crime Network, which I founded, and NewsNation senior national correspondent Brian Entin. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate it. All right, so Jesse, let's start with you. What do you think that we learned today or are learning from the defense about what could be telling in their strategy moving forward?
Yeah, they're putting a microscope on investigators here, and I believe they're doing it for two reasons. One, their goal is to get any of this bad evidence out of that trial. They don't want the jury to see it. So did investigators do something improper in the collection of the evidence? If they can get this evidence thrown out, that's their main goal. If they can't, I think they're previewing a strategy at trial saying there was a rush to find this killer. There might have been missteps taken by police officers. They didn't look at other suspects when there was evidence pointing towards other suspects. And that's how I think they want the training records for 3 police officers to say, is this how you're supposed to ask questions? Is this how you're supposed to follow up leads? It was a short hearing, but I think it kind of gave us a preview of where the defense might be going.
And Brian, we learned that he'd been arrested before, Bryan Kohberger. What was that for and how significant is it?
Yeah, this is interesting coming out of Pennsylvania where he lived. There was an arrest back in 2014. He was arrested. His father actually had him arrested for stealing his sister's cell phone. Apparently, this is when he was dealing with drug addiction at the time. The dad was trying to get him help. It could be interesting moving forward, though, the fact that, again, the dad was involved and had him arrested might go back to a defense strategy that if the dad thought something was strange about Kohberger in this instance, would he have, gone forward and reported?
Do you think that's going to come in at all in this case?
I only see it coming in one of two ways. If he were to take the stand
Yeah.
and they need a prior, record or arrest, or during a penalty phase, if it's during the death penalty phase and they talk about his past. Other than that, I feel is very irrelevant. But for us, it's interesting because we learned something about his past.
All right, so Brian, we've got new video now of the preparations for the demolishing of the home. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, this has been ongoing for a while. They keep saying the house is going to get demolished, and then it just doesn't happen. Today, all of a sudden, this big truck showed up. You see it there. They sealed off the entrance to the house, so you couldn't see what they were bringing in and out, but we're told it was more personal items that belonged to the victims. They're going to return those items to the family. We're also told by the university, which now owns the house, that it has officially been cleared by the court, so it will likely be demolished. They're not giving the exact time frame. 3 of the 4 families, though, don't want it demolished. They want it to stay in case, there's a trial and the jury wants to try.
Well, I was just going to say, this means there won't be a jury visit, which is not, which is rare, but it does happen on occasion.
Yeah, I mean, in most recent memory, we think about the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. The jury went to see that and had...
Or Alex Murdaugh.
Or Alec Murdaugh.
Yeah.
I don't think it's maybe necessary, but at the same time, my main concern is everything taken out of that house that's evidentiary in value? Because the last thing that you want to do is destroy a house that might have key evidence. Look, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be important, I think, more for the families and for the community about what to do to that house than necessarily the trial. They have so much evidence other than that house against him.
And Brian, as we pull up again the video from court today, you were commenting on the way that Kohberger looked in court.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because last time I saw him in court, he was in the orange jumpsuit. He had on the big bulletproof vest underneath, which I don't think he did today. I was trying to tell.
Yeah.
I couldn't really see it this time, but he was in a suit. Other cases that I've covered, usually the defendant only wears a suit and dresses up for the trial when the jury's going to be there to sort of, not look like a suspect. So I thought it was interesting that he was wearing this suit today, that was allowed. Also, obviously, there were no shackles, there was no handcuffs, and he sort of just looked like a normal person sitting there.
Yeah, and I was curious about that too, because it is unusual, I think. Just depends on, there must have been a request, right, Jesse? To the
yeah, and every state is different, and it's different than like a first appearance where, they're first arrested, they're wearing it, they're shackled up. I think at this point it doesn't appear he's a danger or there's any danger to him, so it might be okay for him to wear.
And his lawyer, by the way, is very concerned about the perception of him. That's come out in court filings, was upset that the camera is always focused on him so that people can analyze his body language. I thought it was interesting today, the judge said something about cameras in the court, said, can we not have the camera always focused on Kohberger?
Yeah.
Which is also something that I thought was sort of unusual.
Even
Can you tell us where to put the camera,
Even cited Lori Vallow Daybell, the case in Idaho, saying it was too much focus on the defendant there, maybe felt that case was a case of improper media.
And I'll date myself by saying this, but there was a debate about this in the O.J. Simpson case. There was a lot of talk about where the camera was being focused and a lot of complaints from particularly defense lawyers about how the camera was moving, et cetera. So that becomes an issue. Anyway, Brian, Jesse, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.